is simpler than you think. It starts with how you see the world. When you learn to focus on the good, believe in yourself, and expect positive outcomes, everything begins to change. Your mindset shapes your actions, and your actions shape your future. Change your thoughts, and you can truly change your life. 1. Power of perspective. Imagine waking up one morning and telling yourself, "Today, everything is working in my favor." Even if it's cloudy, even if yesterday was hard, even if things aren't perfect, just imagine starting your day with that kind of thought. That small shift can completely change how your day unfolds. Because here's something important to understand: your life is shaped by how you see things, not just by what happens to you. Two people can go through the same situation and walk away with completely different feelings. One may feel defeated, while the other feels hopeful. Why? Because of how they looked at it. One saw a closed door, the other saw a new path opening. This is the power of perspective. It's the way your thoughts shape your experience. When you believe that life is unfair or that good things never happen to you, you start to see proof of that everywhere. You notice every setback, every mistake, every delay. But when you decide that life is always teaching you, always guiding you, always giving you something valuable, then even your hardest days become part of your growth. That doesn't mean you pretend everything is fine when it's not. It means you train your mind to look for meaning, to look for lessons, to look for strength, especially when things get tough. You don't have to make big changes all at once. Start with the way you speak to yourself. When something frustrating happens, instead of saying, "Why does this always happen to me?" try saying, "What is this here to teach me?" That question alone can open your mind to possibilities you never saw before. Start noticing the little good things, like the way the sun feels on your skin, the way someone held the door open, or the way you were able to calm yourself in a stressful moment. These are all signs that life is still working for you. They're easy to miss when your mind is full of worry. But when you shift your perspective, you begin to see them everywhere. There was a man who lost his job one day. He felt angry, scared, and lost. For a while, he stayed in that place of frustration. He thought life had turned against him, but slowly, he began to ask himself different questions. He thought, "What else could I do? What have I always wanted to try?" He remembered how much he enjoyed working with his hands, so he began fixing things for neighbors. One job led to another. Within a year, he had built something new, something that gave him more freedom and joy than his old job ever did. The situation didn't change overnight, but his perspective did. And that's what made all the difference. You see, life isn't about avoiding every challenge or waiting for perfect conditions. It's about how you choose to face what's in front of you. A positive perspective doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is great when it's not. It means believing that even the struggle has value. It means knowing that storms pass, that tough moments build strength, and that every day is a new chance to try again. Your thoughts are powerful. They can lift you up or pull you down. They can give you energy or take it away. So the question is, how are you choosing to see your life? If you want to change your life, start by changing how you see it. Train your mind to look for hope, even in hard moments. Look for lessons, not losses. Look for progress, not perfection. Because when your perspective changes, your whole world begins to shift, and that's where true transformation begins. 2. Rewiring self-belief. Think about this for a moment. What if the only thing holding you back is the way you see yourself? Not your background, not your past, not your mistakes, but the thoughts you keep repeating in your own mind. Most people don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they believe they're not good enough. That quiet voice inside their head says, "I'm not smart enough," or "I'll never be successful," and over time, they begin to believe it's true. But here's the truth. Those thoughts are not facts. They are stories, and just like any story, they can be rewritten. Self-belief is like the foundation of a house. If the foundation is weak, the whole house struggles to stand. But when the foundation is strong, it can hold up against anything: storms, winds, time. In the same way, your belief in yourself holds up your dreams. If you believe you can do something, you're already halfway there. If you don't, you'll find excuses, not solutions. So how do you build belief in yourself? It starts with small changes. First, notice how you talk to yourself. Would you speak to a friend the same way you speak to yourself? If not, it's time to change that. Replace harsh words with kinder ones. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," say, "I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm doing my best." These may sound like small words, but they carry big power. There was once a young woman who wanted to become a teacher, but for years she believed she wasn't smart enough. She remembered a time in school when she struggled, and those memories stayed with her, so she avoided trying. She told herself, "It's too late or I'll never make it." But one day, she had a simple thought: what if I gave myself a chance? That thought became a decision. She started studying little by little. She asked for help when she needed it. She failed some tests, but she kept going. Slowly, her confidence grew. And eventually, she stood in front of her own classroom, teaching with joy and purpose, not because she was the smartest, but because she chose to believe in herself. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to be perfect. All you need is the courage to take the first step and the belief that you can. When that belief becomes a habit, everything changes. You walk taller, you speak with more strength, you try harder, you take chances, and most of all, you keep going, even when it's hard. Building self-belief takes time. Some days will be easier than others. Some days the doubt will come back. That's normal. But each time it does, remind yourself, I've been through tough things before. I've grown, I've survived, I've learned, I can do this. Say it out loud if you need to. Write it down. Repeat it until it sinks in. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the voice that tells you to stop. You are the person who decides to keep going. And that decision made over and over again builds the strongest kind of belief, the belief that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. So today, choose to speak to yourself with kindness. Choose to believe in the path ahead. And remember, every great journey begins with one small, brave step. Believe that you can take it, and you will. 3. Goals fuel the mind. Imagine going on a long journey with no map, no direction, and no idea where you're trying to go. You might keep walking, but you won't know if you're getting closer to anything that matters. That's what life feels like without clear goals. You wake up each day, go through the motions, but deep down, you feel lost or stuck. Goals give your life direction. They are like signs pointing the way forward. They give your mind something to work toward, something to focus on, something to build. Having a goal doesn't mean everything will go perfectly, but it means you know what you're working for. It gives you a reason to push through the hard days. A goal, no matter how big or small, creates a spark. It gives you purpose. It gives you hope. It gives your actions meaning. A strong goal is more than just a wish. It's something you care about. It's something you can imagine clearly. It's something you can take steps toward. Think about what excites you, what challenges you, or what makes you feel proud. These are signs of what your heart wants. That's where your goals should come from, not from what others expect, but from what makes you feel alive. There was once a man who had always wanted to learn how to play music, but for years he told himself he was too old, too busy, too far behind. Then one day he wrote down a simple goal: learn one song, just one. That little goal gave him something to look forward to every evening. He practiced a little each day. Some days were slow, some days he wanted to quit, but he kept going. One song turned into 2, then 3. A year later, he played for his family and brought tears to their eyes. His dream didn't happen overnight. It happened because he gave it direction and he stayed with it. This is what goals do. They turn big dreams into small steps. They take what seems impossible and make it something you can work toward day by day. And every time you take a step, your confidence grows. You begin to believe in yourself more. You start to feel stronger, more focused, more alive. If you don't have a goal, life can start to feel empty. You might stay busy, but you won't feel fulfilled. But when you have a goal, even a small one, you wake up with purpose. You feel the joy of progress even when you're far from the finish line. Because progress feels good, moving forward feels good. Knowing you are working towards something that matters makes the journey feel worth it. To create a goal, Take some quiet time. Ask yourself, what do I want to learn? What do I want to improve? What would make me feel proud if I achieved it? Then write it down. Make it simple, make it clear, make it honest. You don't have to tell anyone else. This is for you. Keep your goal close. Remind yourself of it often. Take one small action every day, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's just writing one line, taking one walk, learning one word. Over time, those small actions turn into big results, and before you know it, you'll look back and realize you've come farther than you ever thought possible. Your mind is always thinking, always working. Give it something beautiful to work on. Give it a direction. Give it a reason. Let your goals lead you toward the life you truly want. 4. Building mental resilience. There are days when everything feels heavy. Days when plans fall apart, people let you down, or nothing seems to go your way. It's easy to feel tired, to feel like giving up, to wonder if you're even strong enough to keep going. But inside you, there is something powerful, something called resilience. It's the quiet strength that helps you keep moving even when the road is rough. Resilience doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It doesn't mean you never cry or never struggle. It means you choose to stand back up after falling. It means you don't let the hard days steal your hope. It means you trust that this storm will pass and you'll be wiser because of it. Everyone faces hard times. That's part of life. But not everyone handles them the same way. Some people break down and stay there. Others feel the same pain but find a way to rise. What makes the difference is how you choose to think during those moments. A positive mindset helps you see problems as lessons, not life sentences. It helps you remember that even when things are tough, you are not alone and you are not finished. One man lost his home in a fire. Everything he owned was gone. At first he was filled with sadness. He had every reason to feel hopeless, but after a few days, he began to think differently. He said to himself, I still have my family, I still have my health, I can rebuild. And he did. Slowly, piece by piece, he asked for help. He took on small jobs. He saved every bit he could, and over time, he created a new life, not the same as before, but stronger. The fire took his house, but it didn't take his spirit. That's resilience. You don't become strong by having an easy life. You become strong by going through the hard moments and not letting them break you. Think of it like this. When a tree faces heavy winds, its roots grow deeper. When you face challenges, your strength grows deeper too if you let it. One way to build resilience is to do hard things on purpose. Wake up earlier than usual. Finish something you started, even if you're tired. Keep a promise to yourself. These small acts of discipline teach your mind that you can do difficult things. And when bigger challenges come, you'll already have the strength to face them. Another way is to remind yourself of what you've already been through. Look back at your past. Remember the times you thought you wouldn't make it, but you did. That's proof that you are stronger than you think. Keep those memories close. Let them remind you that you've faced storms before, and you're still here. Resilience grows when you don't quit, when you feel like stopping, but take one more step. When everything in you says, I can't, and you whisper back, I will try. That whisper matters. That step matters. Each time you choose to keep going, even a little, you become more powerful than the day before. Life will not always be easy, but it will always be full of chances to grow. If you let every challenge teach you, you'll become someone who can face anything with courage. You'll bend, but you won't break. You'll struggle, but you won't stop. You'll fall, but you'll rise again stronger, wiser, and more ready than ever to keep moving forward. That's the heart of resilience, and it lives inside you. 5. Embracing passion and purpose. There is something special that happens when you wake up excited to begin your day. Not because it's easy, not because everything is perfect, but because you are doing something that fills your heart. That feeling comes from passion and purpose. Passion is what lights you up on the inside. Purpose is what gives meaning to your actions. Together, they make life feel full, even when it's hard. Many people go through their days like they're just passing time. They wake up, go through the same steps, then start again the next day. There's no joy, no spark, no deeper meaning, and after a while, life feels heavy. That's what happens when you're missing passion and purpose. It's not that you're doing the wrong things, it's that you've forgotten what truly matters to you, but that can change. It starts with asking yourself, what do I love doing? What do I care about? What kind of person do I want to become? The answers might not come right away, but they live inside you. You just have to listen. Think about the times you felt most alive. Maybe you were helping someone. Maybe you were building something. Maybe you were creating, learning, or teaching. Those moments are clues. They point you toward your purpose. There was a man who worked a job he didn't enjoy. He did it because it paid the bills, but deep down he always loved working with animals. One day he started volunteering at a small shelter nearby. Just once a week, then twice, then more. Slowly, something changed. He felt more energy, more joy. He started studying animal care, learning more each day. Eventually, he found a new path, one that matched his passion and gave him purpose. His days were still long, but they were no longer empty. He was doing what he loved, and that made all the difference. You don't have to quit everything to follow your passion. You don't have to know your exact purpose right now. You just have to start paying attention. Start doing more of what brings you peace, excitement, or meaning. That's how passion grows. That's how purpose becomes clearer. It's not about doing one big thing. It's about doing small things that feel true to who you are. Passion gives you energy, even on the days when you're tired. Purpose gives you direction, even when the path is unclear. Together, they give you a reason to keep moving forward. And when you live with both, your life begins to feel more honest, more fulfilling, more alive. There will be people who don't understand your passion. There will be times when you doubt your purpose. That's okay. This journey isn't for them, it's for you. Stay close to what matters to you. Trust that your heart knows the way. Every person has a reason they're here. Something only they can do. A way of helping, giving, or creating that no one else can match. When you find it, even the smallest task can feel important. Even the quietest days can feel full. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start where you are. Follow what makes you feel alive. Let your passion guide you, and your purpose will reveal itself. Life becomes brighter when you live it with meaning. And the world becomes better when you share the best parts of yourself with it. That's what embracing passion and purpose is all about. 6. The habit of learning every day brings something new. Some days are filled with joy, others with challenges, but no matter what the day brings, there is always something you can learn from it. Learning is not just something you do in school. It is something you can do for your whole life. When you make learning a habit, your mind grows stronger, your confidence grows deeper, and your life begins to change in ways you never expected. Many people stop learning after they finish their studies. They believe that learning is only for a certain time in life. But the truth is, learning never ends. You are always growing, always changing, and the world around you is always offering new lessons. When you choose to keep learning, you keep your mind alive. You stay curious, open, and ready for anything. Learning doesn't always come from books or teachers. Sometimes it comes from simple things. Watching how someone solves a problem, listening to someone who's been through something you haven't, paying attention to your own mistakes and asking yourself, what can I do better next time? These small moments hold great wisdom if you're willing to notice them. There was once a woman who worked at a small shop. Every day she met new people, heard new stories, and faced different situations. Some days were difficult, but instead of getting upset, she asked herself, what can I learn from this? She started writing down small lessons to be more patient, how to speak more kindly, how to stay calm under pressure. Over time, these lessons made her better at her work, better with people, and better with herself. She didn't go to any special class. She just paid attention and made learning part of her daily life. Making learning a habit isn't hard. It starts with curiosity. Ask questions, try new things, make mistakes and see them as teachers. Be open to advice. Listen to others who know something you don't. And don't be afraid to say, I don't know, because those are the words that lead to real growth. You can learn something every day, even on quiet days. You can learn from a walk outside, from a kind conversation, or from a moment of silence. You can learn from people younger than you, older than you, or very different from you. The world is full of teachers if you keep your eyes and ears open. And here's something powerful: when you become someone who is always learning, you become someone others respect. People notice your growth. They see your patience, your wisdom, and your kindness. You become someone they can trust, someone they can turn to, someone who leads by example. Sometimes learning is uncomfortable. It may show you your weaknesses. It may remind you that you have a long way to go, but don't let that stop you. That's part of the process. True learning takes humility. It takes the courage to admit you don't know everything and the heart to keep going anyway. Each day is a chance to become a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more prepared for whatever life brings next. So, ask yourself at the end of each day, what did I learn today? It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be honest. The habit of learning is a gift you give to yourself. It keeps your mind sharp, your spirit alive, and your heart open. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more your life begins to reflect the strength and beauty that's been inside you all along. 7. Mastering time with intention. Time is one of the most valuable things we have. Once it passes, we cannot get it back. That is why how we use our time is so important. Some people always feel busy but never seem to get anything done. Others seem calm and focused, yet they make steady progress toward their goals. The difference is not in how many hours they have, it is in how they use those hours. Every person on this earth is given the same number of hours in a day, but not everyone uses those hours in a way that brings peace, growth, and joy. Some let the day lead them, while others lead the day. When you begin to use your time with purpose, everything in your life starts to improve. Living with intention means you are clear about what matters to you. It means you make choices instead of just reacting to whatever happens. It means you give your best energy to the things that move you forward, not the things that pull you away from your dreams. This doesn't mean you have to be busy all the time. In fact, it often means doing less but doing it better. A young man once felt like his days were slipping through his fingers. He would wake up late, rush through tasks, and go to bed feeling like he didn't do anything meaningful. One day he sat down with a notebook and asked himself, what do I want from my days? He made a short list of simple things: spend time with his family, learn a new skill, and take care of his health. The next morning, he woke up earlier. He took a short walk, read a few pages from a book, and had breakfast with his parents. The day felt fuller, even though he did less. That was the beginning of his new life, not by changing everything at once, but by using his time with care. You don't need a long list of tasks to feel productive. What you need is clarity. What truly matters to you? What makes you feel alive? What brings you closer to the person you want to become? Once you know the answers, you can begin to build your days around those things. Start small. Wake up a little earlier. Use a few quiet moments in the morning to think about what you want to do that day. Set just 1 or 2 clear goals. Give yourself time to focus and also time to rest. Learn to say no to things that do not help you grow. Protect your time like it's a treasure, because it is. You don't have to be perfect. Some days will feel messy, and that's okay. What matters most is that you are trying, that you are paying attention, that you are choosing how to spend your time instead of letting it slip away without meaning. As you begin to live with intention, you'll feel more in control. You'll feel calmer, even when life gets busy. You'll begin to notice the beauty in small moments, the sound of birds, the taste of your food, the smile of someone you love. Life becomes richer when it is lived on purpose. Time is a gift. Use it wisely. Give it to the people you love. Invest it in your dreams. Spend it in ways that fill your heart, because at the end of the day, how you spend your time is how you spend your life. Make it count. Make it yours. Live it with intention. 8. Financial growth starts in the mind. Money is something we all need, but not everyone understands how to manage it. Some people make a lot of money but always feel like it's not enough. Others make a little and still manage to save, grow, and live in peace. The difference is not just in the amount of money, it's in how they think about it. Financial growth doesn't start in your bank, it starts in your mind. Your thoughts about money shape the way you handle it. If you believe money is always slipping away, you will act in ways that make that true. If you believe you can learn, grow, and improve your money habits, then you will. It begins with how you think. Many people are never taught how to manage money. They grow up spending without understanding where their money goes. They live from one paycheck to the next, always waiting for the next bit to come in and hoping it will be enough. But hope is not a plan. Change comes when you decide to take charge, even if you're starting small. There was a woman who used to spend every dollar she earned. She would buy things she didn't need just to feel good in the moment. At the end of each month, she would look at her empty wallet and feel confused. One day, she had enough. She sat down with a piece of paper and wrote down everything she spent in a week. She was surprised at how many little things added up. From that moment, she decided to track her spending every day. She made a small goal to save just a little bit each week. Over time, her savings grew. She learned more about how to plan her money, and eventually she had enough to fix her car, then take a trip, and even help someone else in need. She didn't win the lottery. She simply changed her thinking. Taking care of your money doesn't mean you have to be rich. It means you're thoughtful, you're responsible. You know what's coming in, what's going out, and what's being saved for the future. Even if you start with just a little, it can grow if you treat it with care. One good way to begin is by writing down your income and your expenses. Where is your money going? Are you spending more than you need? Is there something you could give up now to gain more later? These small questions lead to big answers. And the more you pay attention, the more control you gain. It's also important to stop comparing yourself to others. Some people may seem like they have everything, but you don't know what struggles they're hiding. Focus on your own path. Build at your own pace. Financial peace is not about showing off. It's about sleeping well at night, knowing your needs are covered, and your future is more secure than before. Growth takes time. Don't rush. Celebrate small wins. Saving your first dollar is just as important as saving your first 100. Every wise choice is a step in the right direction. Money is a tool. It's not good or bad. It simply reflects how you use it. Use it to build, not to impress. Use it to help, not to control. Use it to bring peace into your life. And remember, your money habits today shape your life tomorrow. So begin today, no matter how small. Think wisely, act wisely, and let your financial life grow one thoughtful step at a time. 9. Relationships reflect your mindset. The people around you matter. Your relationships, whether with family, friends, neighbors, or coworkers, play a big part in your life. They can lift you up or wear you down. They can give you strength or leave you feeling weak. What many people don't realize is that the way you think affects how you connect with others. Your mindset shapes your relationships, just like your relationships can shape your mindset. When you think positively about yourself and others, you speak with more kindness, listen with more care, and act with more patience. You stop trying to control everything and start trusting more. You begin to understand instead of judge. A calm and loving mindset brings calm and loving people into your life. But if your thoughts are full of anger, fear, or blame, it often shows in how you treat people. You might snap quickly, speak without thinking, or pull away when things get hard. You may expect the worst from others, and over time, those thoughts become true. You push people away without even knowing it. That's why it's so important to work on how you think, because how you think becomes how you live and love. There was a man who often felt lonely. He had friends, but the relationships didn't feel deep. He often expected people to hurt him or let him down. Because of that, he held back. He didn't open up. He didn't trust. One day, he realized that the wall he had built to protect himself was the same wall keeping others out. He decided to try something different. He started speaking more kindly, reaching out more, saying thank you, and really listening. At first it felt strange, but slowly his friendships grew stronger. People started coming closer instead of pulling away. His world became warmer, and it all started with a new way of thinking. Every relationship begins with the way you see yourself. If you believe you are worthy of love and respect, you will treat others the same way. You will no longer need to prove yourself or protect yourself all the time. You can simply be real. You can forgive more, love more, and speak more truthfully. Kindness is a choice. Patience is a choice. Forgiveness is a choice. These choices become easier when your mind is calm and your heart is open. And when you practice them each day, even in small ways, you build stronger connections. It's also important to remember that not every relationship will last forever. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a short season. Letting go doesn't always mean failure. Sometimes it means growth. You can still think kindly of someone and choose to move on. That's part of having a strong and healthy mind. If you want better relationships, be someone who brings peace, not pain. Be someone who listens more than they speak. Be someone who lifts others up instead of pulling them down. And most of all, be someone who reflects love not just in words, but in actions. Your relationships are like mirrors. If your heart is full of fear, you will see fear in others. If your heart is full of love, you will see love around you. The more you work on your inner world, the more your outer world will change. Speak gently, forgive quickly, laugh often, say what you mean, and love without holding back. Because when you lead with